Black Templars Codex for Warhammer 40k is finally here, and as a Templars main, I have been beyond excited for these rules to see the light of day. I managed to squeeze in a game with what I thought was the coolest detachment, and I think I've got a pretty good understanding of how to play Black Templars with this new rule set. So, say a prayer to the Almighty God Emperor, and let's get to crusading. Welcome back to Starhammer. So I played a 2,000 point game against Chaos Space Marines running the Renegade Raiders detachment. I don't remember every single unit, but it was a fairly balanced list consisting of Rhino, Predator, some Havocs, Possessed, regular Legionnaires, and all led by Abaddon the Despoiler himself. I was running the new Champion's Vehemence detachment, which allows me to reroll advance and charge rolls, and the Accept Any Challenge No Matter the Odds vow, which allowed me to add 1 to the wound roll in melee, provided the toughness of my enemy was greater than or equal to my weapon's strength. For my list, I was running Grimaldus, an Execrator Chaplain, a Crusade Ancient, and the Emperor's Champion for characters. For battle line, 1x5 heavy intercessors for holding the home point, and some range shooting, 2x10 Crusader squads, one led by the Ancient, the other led by the Execrator, and a 1x10 stack of Assault Intercessors for assaulting. My other units were the always durable and punchy Blade Guard Vets, a squad of 5 and a squad of 3, a Land Raider Redeemer, a Repulsor Executioner, a 1x5 Sword Bro squad being led by Grimaldus, and a 1x5 Terminator squad. Right, so I want to get one thing out of the way, and that is that Black Templars can no longer benefit from Oath of Moment like every other Space Marine army. Templar vows are your army rule now, each one granting you a different bonus for whatever you feel like you might need. I'll throw these up on screen, you can pause and read them if you want, because this isn't a rules overview. We're going to focus on more of how they feel to play. I'll be real, I didn't even notice the lack of Oath of Moment. You might think that not getting hit rerolls across the board would be noticeable, but you don't miss shit. There's plenty here to make up for it. I was fortunate enough to go second, and with a melee heavy list like this, coupled with the detachment and vow, I knew I had to play this super aggressively. I stuck Grimaldus in his squad as well as some Blade Guard Vets inside my Land Raider and took full advantage of my reroll advances throughout the game. The ability to punch up with just about everything, stacked with all the keywords that most Templar units now have across the board, so like lethals, sustained one on chainswords, you get the idea, makes for a downright destructive force on the board. Like, I've never seen my Templars do this well, and the best part of it is that it felt like I was commanding a Black Templars army and not just a generic Space Marine army painted black that likes to do melee. I touched on this when I made the video covering the leaks from this codex, but melee in 10th edition Warhammer has largely felt very samey. Even in the index detachment, all the Templar vows did was give you keywords, and you had to rely on unit abilities to even have some semblance of uniqueness. Now it's been switched up. Crusader squads have sustained hits on their chainswords, most power weapons have lethals, and the unit abilities feel generally well-rounded. For example, Crusader squads now get a surge move when a model dies, meaning they move d6 inches to the closest enemy unit, and can end that move in engagement range. You lose fights first from that, but you don't have to worry about potentially missing a charge. Sword Bros get a reactionary move whenever an enemy falls back from them, though they can't end that move in engagement range. However, it is a normal move. You can target them with the Heresy Begets Retribution strat for 1 CP and move an additional d6 to make up any distance you might need, and you can put them in engagement range with that. Said, you can only do this if they're being led by a Chaplain or a Judicar. This is the stratagem I made the most liberal use of. Pious Amenity is pretty solid for a single CP, that'll let you reroll a hit roll of 1 on a target and a wound reroll of 1 as well if the target's a monster or vehicle. Stack that with Grimaldus' hit reroll and it can be pretty scary against bigger targets. I know that the Sword Bros were nerfed a little bit, but I think they punch even harder with all their keywords, and if being led by Grimaldus or another capable character, are great at taking out bigger targets like my guys did when they whacked Predator off the board. Grimaldus can also add 1 to the toughness of his unit, or have them add 1 to advance and charge rolls, or add 1 to AP, depending on your mood. The sustained 1 on the chainswords is disgusting, I may add. In addition to adding 1 to wound on most things they swing at, Crusader squads are excellent at punching above their weight. When being led by a Crusade Ancient, they have a 4-up fight on death, which my whole squad got to rolled a fight on death against a unit of possessed and took them down to just one dude. When destroying a unit, the Crusade Ancient adds 5 to his OC, making it extremely difficult for your opponent to outscore you on a given point if your Crusaders are alive and kicking. The Executor Chaplain did not do as well as I would have liked. I could have just been rolling like ass, but I'd like to see if I can throw out some more damage with him. If running the dual melee loadout, he has the potential for a pretty freaky amount of damage, and it gives his unit advance and charge, which did come in handy. He also forces every unit within 6 inches to make a battle shock test, but that's very circumstantial after he destroys a unit. Against Chaos Space Marines, that doesn't really do a lot. Nor did he get the chance to, because I put way too much hope on his squad punching above their weight into a Terminator unit, and yeah, that was a mistake. Don't do that. However, Blade Guard is a fantastic unit for this detachment. At strength 5 with AP 2 and 2 damage, a full stack of these dudes can carve through just about any. Havocs, Chosen, doesn't matter. They're all in with this Templar vow. You can force higher end units to rely on their 4-up invuln, and the 2 damage is enough to put the hurt on whoever gets matched up with them, even beefier guys like Terminators. The rerolls of 1 to hit can never go wrong either. I chose the Land Raider Redeemer primarily due to the 2d6 Super Flamers it has that are strength 6, which can help wound tougher units on 3s most of the time, and is AP 2 and damage 2, making it a great Overwatch cover for disembarked units. The Executioner tank is a tank. Its full hit rerolls on enemies within 12 inches of any Astartes unit makes sure that it packs a beefier punch than before, and is a really good unit to cover your advancing Crusader squads and things like that by softening up targets on the point and destroying vehicles with the Heavy Laser Destroyer. The Emperor's Champion is so very cool, but I didn't get to do shit with him because he died before he even got to swing. Totally my fault, but his survivability with Lone Op and the ability to blanket damage that got through once per phase is pretty darn great. Overall, Templars just feel so powerful now. I don't feel like I'm playing Space Marines, I feel like I'm playing Black Templars. And that's everything I was hoping this codex would give me, and this is just my first impression. Especially with this new vow, I feel like I'm dishing out the Emperor's righteous judgment and not just fighting another pointless conflict in the grimdark future. That said, I would caution against playing them conservatively at all. The new codex rewards aggressive playstyles and tactics that Templars are known for in the lore. These do really feel like lore-accurate Black Templars. Grimaldus especially is a force to be reckoned with when paired with Sword Bros. Hands down, probably my favorite unit combo that I've come up with so far. I'm really excited to dive deeper into these new rules, and yes, I will have a full review for these guys like I did with Thousand Sons once I get a little bit more confident in playing them. I'm so happy that this army feels like it's really coming to its own. I really hope we keep this momentum as we end this edition and inch closer to the next. I can't wait to see where we go because honestly, I think it's only up from here. And that's it for this one, y'all. Just a short video to wet the palate while I write this Primarch's Cooler Cringe video, which is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. I'm sorry about that. But just a quickie to relay my first impressions while they're still fresh in my mind. A lot of you frequent commenters are Black Templars players like myself, so I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say about the new rules. But as always, I love hearing from you guys in general. It really makes me excited to make videos when I know I'll get to engage with you guys, and it's always a fun time. So drop a like if you like it, a subscribe if you really liked it, and don't forget to check that community tab for shit posts and shenanigans. Hit the bell so you don't miss a video, and I'll see y'all in the next one.